Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. I'm going to do basically questions and answers that have been given to me over a period of time here as I've been doing my videos, and I just want to clarify some of the information or what I use. So I'm trying to give you a general run through of what I use, how I use it, and the way it's used. Uh, One of the things I would like you to do, if you have a project you're doing and you need to get some help or information and you want to send me a photo of your work, or you have some questions in the videos that I've produced that you may want some answers to. And I'm going to refer you to uh, the comments section of the video that you want, okay? Or you can come directly at me. Usually in my videos, in the comments section, I also have my email address that you could contact me, and I'll gladly try to straighten you out on any issues you may have. At the same time, if I see your work and you can send me a couple of photos, I will try to look at them and get back to you in a timely fashion to answer any of the problems you may have. And I have gotten some questions along the way here, and I'm just trying to do a clarification on things. I wrote down some things to try to answer here, and a couple things I want to try to get you up to speed on, because you don't always see me with it, is at times I wear a dust mask, okay? I have several of them, different types. This is just one of the models. This is the N95. Now, I don't always wear a dust mask because of the amount of dust I'm making with some of the techniques I'm doing. So what I'm trying to do is advise you, the dust isn't a great thing to have that you're taking into your body or something like that. So if you could wear something, that would be smart, okay? I also have at my workbench here that I don't always turn on because it makes it's noisy. It's a vacuum system. Okay, I have a big vacuum system underneath my workbench here, and it sucks most of the dust out. I don't run it when I do a video, but I do. I have it for when I ran classes. It'll handle 6 stations around my table here, and also I have a portable dust collector, and if you need information on how to get them, I don't sell them anymore, but I could put you on to where you could get them, and it's smart to have it. Okay, so just want to clarify. You know, somebody had mentioned about the dust. I know carvers that use knife carving doesn't have that problem, but I really like, and it's like 25 years I've been doing power carving, and I got away from the knife. I got some beautiful knives in a box. I just don't take them out anymore. And there's nothing wrong with the knife. It's just that the power carving just allows me to do so much more, and I'm very comfortable with it. And it's just the way I've been going. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the knife though. But I wanted to at least give you some information on that. As far as dust collectors, wear a mask when you get a chance. You'll see me a lot, or you probably don't see me a lot when I'm trying to just talk. And if it's light work, I really try to just go without the mask, okay? Because I feel as though I can get away with that. But I want to give you that as a safety feature, okay? The other thing that I use a lot that you don't see when I wear is when we do close-up work, I have what they call, these are magnifiers. I do sell these. These are Optivisors, but I also have another one that has a light and 3 lenses that you can flip down one, and it has a loopy on the other one, just for more magnification. So if you're ever in need of anything like that, this is very helpful. As I'm getting older, and it's not even before when I was younger, I shouldn't say that. I always use these, especially for close-up work. It just makes life a lot easier. This gives me a range of about 10 inches away from my work, and it really gives you a real close-up of what you're doing. So I do use this, and as you can tell through my videos, I do a lot of detail work. I'm very detailed in what I'm doing with the birds, so I want to let you know that I use the Optivisor most of the time. I usually have one on. And I have one that also has the light and the magnifiers and everything else, which is nice too because it puts a lot of light on the subject. And depending on how much light, like in my studio here, I have lights all over the place. So just normal lighting I have here gives you a lot, and it's pretty bright. So that helps. It really does. But if you have one of these visors, the magnifiers that have the light and the additional lenses, that's very helpful as well. So I wanted to cover that. Then on bits, in general, and you'll see me most of the time, and I've thought I had all my bits out here, and I do this every time. I'm going to show you a few of the bits that you see me use a lot. This here is a bullet-shaped diamond, and I like this one because it's got a point. It allows me to roll things and get a line if I need it. And I use another one just like this. That's a ruby. It's called a flame tip, and it comes straight out. And it's very similar to this, except that it's a little more slimmer as it comes up. And that's a real nice one as well. The other ruby, and that's a ruby carver. That has impregnated ruby. This has impregnated diamond, and these will cut a little faster. The rubies themselves are much slow. They cut fast, but they're not real fast cutting. So these are very I find more friendly. You don't take as much wood out, and you have more control. Where the diamond, if you went with diamond in the same shape, you could take a lot more off. But I use the ruby, and I've used it with my classes. I just felt as though this was a better bit to use. Now, they have these in a super ruby carver, and that has the grid on it is a little more biting, and that will take a lot off as well, even more so than these. These are considered a coarse, but they really don't fine work in the same way with the diamonds. The diamonds give you a very fine finish. Now, the other things that I use, and when I'm relieving the feathers, I use a diamond with a safe end. And what I mean by that is there is no diamond on the end of this. So when I burn in on a feather, and I'm going to bring in a bird here now, to get these feathers relieved, I burn around the outline with the burning pen, and then I lay this what I call a safe end right onto the feather line and just drift around, and it cuts right along the burn, and it gives you a real nice clean cut, and at the same time it gives you a real nice finish too. So you're doing two things at one time. You're shaping, and you're also keeping the area around nice and smooth. So this is, again, I have them in a barrel shape, and I have them in what's the name, in a taper. I don't know if I have the tapers anymore, but the barrel shapes are definitely, you get them like this size here, and this is nice, and you can see there's no diamond on the end. So at least I hope the focusing is coming in on it. And these work out really great. The other thing I use in the breast area, when I had shown you I was doing this, where I lift the feathers in here with a flame tip ruby, but you can also use a small diamond ball, and they're really tiny. I mean, compared to my finger here, they're really a small ball, and that's what you want to use. And you just undercut along your line work that you've penciled in on here, and that gives you at least a sweep. You have an edge on top and bottom. Remember, we lowered the front end and the back end with the bullet, but this will get you that crease in there to get it just started. So that is a diamond ball, and I would recommend that. When we go to do the breast area, after we soften the front end of the feather and the back end, then I come in, and I would recommend this. I had shown you a white stone that I use, which is a 400 grit. And depending on the wood you're using, if you're using Tupelo, I would go with the 400 grit. But for basswood like this, I use this bit right here. And it's you can get it in a barrel shape or taper, and it's the flat end. You're working on a 45 degree, and that's where I get the texture. I'm stroking that through, and I'm holding this bit so it's hitting on a 45 degree. Okay, and then lastly, the hogging bit. These are tungsten carbide bits, and they do an excellent job at just taking the material down. You've seen me use with the Fordham bits that are really big. They're on a 1/4 inch shank, and these are great for coming in when you've got the blank itself sort of squared up and you need to get it rounded. These are great. The barrel shape's probably the most useful one, but another one is a shape just like this, but in a 1/4 inch shank. It gives you the barrel, and it gives you a ball. So if you ever have to go in and do some concave work, this is like a dual bit, okay? Rather than, they make them in different shapes and stuff like that. So if you ever need anything on the bits, you can always contact me. And then I also use a mandrel with these sanding bits that just screw on, and it goes on real easy. And then you do your sanding to get into tight areas, and these are excellent. They really are. And I sell these like in a pack of 10, and on the smaller ones you get the mandrel with it, and they're very reasonable. And the other thing I want to touch base on before I end this video, at least for this section, I'm going to try to do this more often, is trying to explain things. I had somebody that had difficulty in the pattern, and the profile is just that. It's what the bird looks like in profile. This view can be confusing. A lot of people think that this is a match of this. And it is, in a sense, but what you got to realize is this bird, the top of the head is up here, and the tail is way down here, and it's not flat. We're not looking at this straight on. We're looking at this one up here as if like we're looking straight down. So you get a little bit of a distortion in this area where everything is dropping from the head down. And if you had a bird, we'll say, here's the profile. Well, the top view is this. And what happens is it's not giving you all of a true view because this is further down and this is up top. So it's hard to give you a perfect drawing. Somebody was saying that when they tried to cut this out, and I guess I don't know who was doing this, but one of my subscribers was saying that, he probably tried to glue this and this together, on a block and then cut it out. You're going to get a little bit of a distortion. The length from here, from the beak down to here, is different on this one because this is dropping down. But this gives you a projection of what it looks like coming down. But this is more of the true view. This is just giving you a bird's eye view looking straight down on this up here. But another thing too is I straighten the head out here where the head is turned. So you have to treat the head as a separate item. And if you notice, we work the head, besides doing the general shaping in the beginning, we shape the body, but then we work the head on another center line, and everything that is done on one side of the center line to the other is symmetrical. And we do that with the body, but they're not the same. This has a center line here. This is the body center line. This is the head center line. And what I do is I try to flatten this, and it is flattened in a sense. It doesn't show you the curvature of the head. And I do that because you can copy this and map it from one side or the other side. And it just doesn't show you the distortion of the turn. This is looking at a bird almost looking straight on. But it works in a sense that everything else, the measurement from here up to the wing is great. The head itself is projected, but I'm taking a little license of not turning the head. This is giving you as if the bird was looking straight on. And you're going to look at the head as what you're trying to map out on the center line here, and everything on this side is the same thing on the other side down here. And it's it may be confusing for some of you, and I just want to try to, I don't know if I'm making it simpler or not, but I just want to let you know that it's a little bit of a challenge understanding that, and I try to, and then I also put a projection of what's happening on the underneath side, so you know what the length of the tail is on the rump side. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this now and then to give you different viewpoints of questions I get about what is occurring. Okay, so I hope this is helpful to you. And if it is, like I said, definitely contact me. If you need any of the products, you can also contact me on that too. And I will discuss other products along the way and how I use them and try to clarify it. I don't know. It's not always that easy. And I know the way I do things sometimes can be a little confusing. If it is, please contact me, okay, by either email or in the comments section of the video, and I'll gladly try to get back to you. So I hope this is informative enough for you, And if it is, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate that too. Thank you very much. See ya.